Have you ever caught yourself wondering, is this just what getting older feels like? Maybe you notice the aches a little more than before, or you're not bouncing back as quickly after a busy day. You might even look in the mirror and think, when did I start feeling older than I actually am? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But here's the thing, getting older doesn't mean fading away. In fact, there's a growing body of science that says life after 60 can be vibrant, strong, and, believe it or not, even longer. Much longer. You see, your body is always listening. It hears what you eat, how you move, what you think, and even how you sleep. The good news is, it's never too late to start feeding it better messages. Even small changes, just a few simple habits, can have a massive impact on your health, your energy, and yes, even how many candles you'll have on your birthday cake 10 years from now. So, let's talk about 5 of those habits. They're not fads, and they're not hard to follow. They're backed by solid research and practiced by some of the healthiest, longest living people around the world. And the best part? You can start adding them to your life today. No gym memberships, no fancy equipment, no unrealistic promises. Let's start with something so basic, yet so powerful, movement. Not the kind where you're sweating buckets or running marathons. I'm talking about gentle, steady movement throughout the day. Think of your body like a river. When it flows, everything's alive. But when it stagnates, things start to settle, harden, and decay. Studies from regions like Okinawa, Japan, where people regularly live past 100, show that light, consistent movement, like walking, gardening, or even tidying up the house, keeps the joints happy, the muscles strong, and the heart pumping with ease. So instead of saving all your energy for one workout a day, try sprinkling gentle movement throughout your day. Stretch while the kettle boils. Take the long route to the mailbox. Do a little dance in the kitchen, yes, even if no one's watching. Every minute counts. You don't need to climb mountains. Just keep flowing, keep moving, and your body will thank you with more vitality than you might expect. Now, let's talk about something that's just as crucial but often overlooked, your social life. Yes, really. Human connection isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a must-have, especially after 60. According to research from Harvard's decades-long study on adult development, strong social ties are more predictive of long life and happiness than cholesterol levels, weight, or even genetics. Let that sink in for a second. The people in your life, friends, family, even a friendly chat with your neighbor, can be more powerful for your health than a pill or a diet plan. If that sounds surprising, think about the last time you had a really good conversation. The kind that made you laugh or made you feel heard. Didn't your whole body feel lighter? Your mind clearer? Loneliness, on the other hand, is now considered as dangerous to your health as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. So, don't underestimate the power of a phone call, a coffee date, or a shared walk with someone who gets you. And if you've lost touch with old friends, don't be shy, reach out. Chances are, they're missing that connection just as much as you are. Let me tell you about Margaret, one of our viewers who recently shared her story. She's 72, lives on her own, and used to spend most of her days watching TV in silence. But after joining a local book club, one that meets just twice a month, she says she feels like her world opened up again. More laughter, more conversation, and even better sleep. That's the ripple effect of human connection. Speaking of sleep, that brings us to the next habit, one that might surprise you with how powerful it really is. We'll get into that in a moment. But before we do, take a breath. Think about what we just talked about, moving a little more and connecting a little deeper. These aren't giant leaps, they're tiny steps. And each one adds up. Now, imagine stringing them together, like beads on a necklace, creating a life that's fuller, richer, and yes, potentially a decade longer. Let's talk about sleep. Not just more of it, but better. Because after 60, your body becomes a little pickier about rest. You might find yourself waking up more during the night, tossing and turning, or just not feeling as refreshed in the morning. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's what's truly interesting. Research shows that high-quality sleep doesn't just help you feel better, it's directly tied to longevity. In fact, studies from institutions like Stanford and the National Institute on Aging have shown that people who consistently sleep well into their 60s, 70s, and even 80s have better memory, stronger immune systems, and lower risk of chronic illness. But let's get one thing straight, This isn't about forcing yourself to sleep longer. It's about helping your body and mind feel safe enough to relax deeply. That starts with routine. Going to bed and waking up around the same time every day, even on weekends, helps reset your internal clock. Avoiding screens, especially those bright phone or tablet screens, an hour before bed gives your brain the quiet it needs to ease into rest. And little things matter more than you think. A cozy, dark room. Soft lighting in the evening. A warm bath. Even a calming cup of chamomile tea can send a message to your nervous system: it's time to wind down. You'd be amazed what happens when you sleep well for even a week straight. Your mood lifts. Your focus sharpens. Your body heals. And over time, those nights of deep sleep add up, not just to better days, but to more of them. And let's not forget one of the simplest and most powerful ingredients for a longer life: what you eat. But don't worry, this isn't going to be a lecture about cutting out everything you enjoy. Far from it. In fact, after 60, eating well should feel like a joy, not a punishment. Think of your meals like fuel for your future. The science is clear: diets rich in colorful vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, and healthy fats, like olive oil and avocados, can dramatically reduce inflammation, protect the heart, and even support brain health. But here's the secret most people miss: it's not just what you eat, it's how you eat. Slow down. Chew. Savor. When you eat with intention, maybe at a table instead of in front of the TV, you're giving your body a chance to actually enjoy and process the nutrients. You feel fuller sooner, you digest better, and surprisingly, you tend to eat less without even trying. There's something deeply healing about preparing a simple meal: chopping fresh garlic, stirring a pot of hearty soup, maybe adding a sprinkle of herbs from a little windowsill garden. These small acts connect us with our food again. And when you share that meal, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or even while chatting on the phone with someone you love, it becomes more than just nutrition. It becomes connection. Comfort. A little daily celebration of being alive. And speaking of being alive, truly alive, there's one more habit we need to talk about. A habit that has nothing to do with your muscles or your heart, but everything to do with your mind. One that's helped thousands of people feel more grounded, more present, and more in control, no matter their age. But before we go there, pause for a moment. Think about the last few minutes. You've already heard how movement, connection, sleep, and food can work together like gears in a well-oiled machine. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware. Choosing, each day, to give your body what it needs to thrive, not just survive. Now, let's take that awareness one step further. And let's talk about your mind. Because if there's one thing that becomes clearer with age, it's that our thoughts shape our days far more than we realize. After 60, the power of your mindset isn't just emotional, it's physical. Studies out of Harvard and Yale have shown that seniors who carry a positive view of aging, those who believe they can still grow, learn, and enjoy life, actually live longer. On average, by more than 7 years. Isn't that something? But let's be honest. Staying positive isn't always easy. Life changes. People you love may drift or pass on. Your body may not move like it used to. The world can feel a bit noisier, a bit faster than before. That's why one of the most powerful habits you can build at this stage of life is mindfulness. Not just the kind that involves sitting cross-legged in silence, unless that's your thing, but the simple, gentle awareness of what's going on inside you, and choosing how you respond to it. Think about this: when was the last time you really stopped and listened to your breath? Or noticed the feeling of sunshine on your skin without rushing off to the next thing? That's mindfulness. It's presence. And you can practice it anywhere: in the kitchen while you're chopping vegetables, in the garden while pulling weeds, or even while folding laundry. The act of pausing, noticing, and breathing tells your body, "I'm safe. I'm here." It lowers stress, supports immune function, and even slows cellular aging. And if meditation sounds intimidating, don't worry. You don't need an app or a guru. Just take 5 minutes a day to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let your thoughts come and go without judgment. Some people like to keep a small notebook nearby to jot down anything that comes up: a worry, a memory, an idea. Over time, that practice becomes an anchor, especially on the hard days. It reminds you that you are still growing, still present, still capable of joy. Now, along with mindfulness, there's one more habit: one that often goes overlooked but is absolutely essential. It's about having a reason to get up in the morning. A purpose. You see, when we retire or our roles as parents shift, it's easy to feel like we've lost a bit of ourselves. But your value doesn't retire. Your wisdom doesn't retire. And your ability to contribute to the world? That only deepens with age. Purpose doesn't have to be something grand. It might be calling your granddaughter every Sunday, tending to a little community garden, writing down family stories so your grandkids can know where they came from. Maybe it's mentoring someone younger, volunteering, or learning a new instrument just because you've always wanted to. What matters is that it lights something up inside of you, that it makes you feel useful, connected, alive. A study in the journal Psychological Science followed thousands of older adults over several years and found that those who reported having a strong sense of purpose lived longer, healthier lives. Not because they were trying to beat the clock, but because they had something they were living for. That's the difference. And maybe today, your purpose is simply taking better care of yourself. Maybe it's finally giving yourself permission to slow down and enjoy life, instead of always being the one who has to fix, manage, or take care of others. That, too, is purpose. So here we are. We've talked about how moving with intention, connecting deeply, sleeping well, eating mindfully, nurturing your thoughts, and living with purpose all add up to something bigger than just staying healthy. They're the building blocks of a longer, richer, more meaningful life. You don't have to do it all perfectly. No one does. But the smallest shift today, going for a walk, calling a friend, turning off the TV an hour earlier, taking a deep breath, could be the very thing that changes your tomorrow. And if you start to weave just one of these habits into your day, you're already walking the path toward more energy, more clarity, and yes, more years filled with life. Thank you for spending this time with me. If any of these habits spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What's something you're already doing that helps you feel alive? Or is there one new habit you'd like to try this week? Let's learn from each other, because your experience matters, and your voice can inspire someone else who's watching. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical, uplifting content made just for you. You've got so much life left to live, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Here's to living not just longer, but better, fuller, and more joyfully. No matter your age, you are not done yet. And I hope today reminded you just how much that truth matters.